Cavalier faithful, welcome back. It's Cavs Encapsulated, episode 5. Our Cavaliers' 3-game winning streak is upon us, finally finding our footing. A 109-95 victory over Portland in Portland. 108-100 victory against the Pistons at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and then a second straight win inside the Fieldhouse against the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets without Jamal Murray. But we didn't have Donovan Mitchell. 121-109. Some impressive victories, I think, out of the 2 out of the last 3. I don't know if Detroit's something to write home about, but nonetheless, a win in the regular season. We got 4 games to predict this week. Logan, I would like to start with you. Give me overall thoughts. Someone who wasn't a believer, just like Justin, that we wouldn't be able to beat the Nuggets with all the injuries. If you want to start with the injuries, if you want to start with the positives, be my guest, please.
Yeah, I'll start with Mac Perry. Sorry, my friend. I'll start with his comments. He mentioned that the Nuggets game felt a lot like the 2021-2022 Cavs, where it was all fun. There was no expectations. They go out there and just get wins. And we were beaten. I think that was the year we swept the Nuggets in the regular season that year as well. It really was a great sight to see that they are finding their footing. I mean, I think I mentioned last year or 2 years ago, I said Cleveland might be like the new Lob City. How many times did you see them get Jared Allen at the basket? I mean, they really were attacking. There it is right there. But, yeah, I just really think right now the vibes are good. The biggest thing is Darius Garland is starting to get back to form, and that's what we absolutely need. The concerning part is, why is he doing it without Mitchell? You could say, oh, it's good he's stepping up in Mitchell's absence. Or you could say, is that backcourt working out as well as you think? I'm not going to be getting on that talk because these are happy times. They're on a 3-game win streak, and, we're rolling here. Still got to get healthy, still got to get guys back and have to readjust once again, but it allows for guys like CPJ to step up, and it's been a lot of positives so far.
And when you're seeing this, the Craig Porter Jr. solo Logan upload, which is ecstatic and exquisite, by the way, has already been put out. Go check it out. Hit that like button. Make sure that you comment down below if you want to see Logan do more videos like that, because I love when he gets, starts cooking, puts out these solo videos. Justin, the emergence of people, kind of stepping up, whether it's, Craig Porter Jr., whether it's, some other people on the bench. You saw some different lineups last night that were a little bit interesting, even though, okay, you might have said we're up 15 points, we're up 17 points in some instances. What's been the biggest thing for you over these last, 3 games that we've won?
Yeah, well, let's start with CPJ. I mean, last week when I talked about him getting the minutes in the New York series, it was really me just trying to be like, all right, we're starting to really just drop at the guard position already this season. Donovan's been out, Darius been out, Isaac's been out, Ty Jerome's been out. We've just been, continuously missing guys. And the one time he played with the New York series, he played phenomenally. Now we've seen that if you give him the minutes, he's going to impact the game. It doesn't matter if he's actually putting up points or if he's actually rebounding the ball, passing the ball. He quite literally is doing it all, and is kind of like that weird Karis LeVert of like, he's the guy that you need in this moment right now, and it's just getting the job done, not BSing, not doing too much, not doing, crazy things. He's just doing his job and really propelling this team from the bench. That being said, the one thing I disagree with Logan is I do think Darius has gotten a lot better, but I just don't think he's even still there yet. Like, I'm still watching him, and it still feels like he's at that 80-90% speed, and it's really concerning for me just because I feel like he's so constricted right now with the ball. He used to flow really effortlessly. He used to make me think like, man, he's got handles like Kyrie, and I haven't seen that this year. I haven't seen him kind of like finesse with the ball or really go into his bag of tricks and pull out some of the fancy stuff. Now, obviously, he gets a lot of lobs up to, the big guys and whatnot, but it's still not to that point of even last year where he was putting up similar numbers to the All-Star year and looking good doing it with Donovan Mitchell. Like you said, he's doing better now without Donovan, but it really needs to get to the point of those two get on the court together. They're on the court for multiple games, and they find a rhythm and they find a groove that those two can succeed, because I think otherwise, like Jeff has alluded to, something is going to need to happen there.
Honestly, you guys are kind of getting around to what my thought process is that let's not, and I know, I get it. People aren't going to want to hear this, and I'm, usually one of these people who don't want to hear this line of thinking, but let's not convince ourselves that because last year you didn't necessarily see growing pains with Garland and Mitchell sharing the floor, that was just going to continue, naturally, no questions asked. These guys have, not even played 100 games together. Who knows how many games they've actually started together between some of Mitchell's injuries, besides, Darius Garland getting hit in the face. It seemed like every game for the first half of the season last year. I would like to be even curious how many games they've started together. It's not like they've been teammates, for 4 or 5 years. Let's not get tricked and trapped into this mindset of like, oh yeah, they have all the, the kinks are worked out and there's no issues there. Like, clearly it seems like to me that something is not correct with ball movement, with offensive play calling, if they're both on the court together this early season. It seems like Mitchell plays a little bit better when Garland isn't playing, and vice versa. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a them two thing, if it's, the opponents we're playing, if it's how other people perform. I'm not certain what it is. I'm not that high level of a basketball mind.
Well,
and I don't claim to be.
I could give you an example, right? With Garland in 21-22, we were pick and roll heavy. And in that Nuggets game, we were pick and roll heavy. I mean, it was constantly getting the lob threat. With Mitchell, it's more set the pick. And then from there, Donnie can do whatever he wants, whether it's a step back three, drive to the basket.
It's almost too loose with Donnie.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. At the end of the day, he is the best player. He is the man. I love Donovan Mitchell.
I think what Logan's saying though is maybe here's the thing, Justin. Let's get into a little conspiracy, and it might not be a conspiracy, but is Donovan Mitchell just like let's not even say it's like kind of like an arrogant way or like a disrespectful way, but Donovan Mitchell's clearly at that point of his career where like maybe JB like says something and Donovan's like, no, I'm not doing that. Or he suggests something else, and then Darius isn't there yet. Like maybe JB draws up a play, and Darius is like, okay, yeah, we're running this play. Like I don't really have, a whole lot. I'm not saying this is the case because I think Donovan Mitchell is a team player, but is it kind of to the point where it's like, okay, let's say Donovan has 35, and JB draws up a play for, I don't know, somebody else in the corner, a George Niang three. Is Donovan like, no, we're not doing that?
Here's the thing, and here's why I think the Donovan and Darius Garland connection right now is so poor, is because they've tried to implement a whole new offense that isn't surrounded by or isn't solely based off of Donovan make this happen or Darius, pass the ball, get it to someone, or drive in, get it to someone who's open and pray that they make a shot. Now it's like you're watching Strus get a lot of touches. You're watching Niang get a lot of touches.
Yep.
And now you're watching CPJ get a lot of touches. Obviously, I think there's a lot of skill on this team, and I think it might be a detriment to what we're trying to put together. Again, this whole team has been hurt and has played like 3 games at full strength yet. So a guy like Isaac Okoro, who I think does a lot for the defensive side of the ball and has now, in the games that he has played, has looked good offensively, has looked competent offensively. What does he do to change the game? What does he do to change the offense? How are they calling things differently? And again, Tristan Thompson was a guy who we didn't expect to get any playing time this year, has seen plenty of playing time in place for Jones and everything. There's already been shakeup. Ty Jerome, I think, has shaken up what JB was looking to do early on. Yep. Here's the crazy thing, and something that I, was looking so forward to, 10 to 11 guys. We remember that quote. It was a huge quote. 10 to 11 guys he wanted to play.
You were led astray on that one.
Just a lie. I mean, did anybody expect that to go through though?
But when you looked at the guys who he's played at heavy minutes now, you're saying, all right, well, Ty Jerome comes back. He's going to get slotted back in there. Who's losing minutes? Is it Dean Wade, who's the spot starter as of right now? Is it Niang? Is it well? And that's the problem. It would be CPJ because you still have to bring back Karis LeVert, and again, then you're back to having so many guards. It's impossible to bring a guy like CPJ into the fold and be like, all right, let's make this offense work like this. That's my whole like thought process, not really conspiracy wise, but it's just like, I think they tried to do something this offseason. They obviously went and acquired guys for a specific reason. We were poor at shooting threes. Now a lot of our guys are taking more threes than ever. We're taking more threes as a team, but it still just feels like a lot of it is being forced. And that's why I think a guy like DG is just moving at 80%.
It just seems like we just play, and I think this might be common in the NBA. Like, we just look better when we have facilitator first players out there, like Garland, CPJ, even like Evan Mobley. You have three guys out there where, Evan Mobley just doesn't get the ball and like try to put his head down. He never looks at anyone else. Like, he's a pretty good passer for his size. Same way with Jared Allen. Dean Wade gives up the rock. When you have facilitators out there first, just seems like we get better looks, and that didn't really go a whole lot last year. Didn't go very far because you didn't have Max Strus. Even Niang he's a threat from three. I don't know if he's played at a high level so far, but you have to defend him. You have to be honest with him. Dean Wade could shoot the three ball. We know DG can, but it's almost like I just feel like we have like two different like schemes and offenses, and I don't even know if they know which one they run every night, but like sometimes this looks like it's like the Nuggets game, home run. Like you pretty much play a near perfect game against Denver, shows in the box score, shows in the stats. And I get it. They didn't have Jamal Murray, but we didn't have pieces either. And with that being said, let me just put this little, sidebar out there. What is up with Okoro? What are these injuries going on here? And I just want to tell Adam Silver, because we know he's not watching, that you failed, man. Knee soreness, you have this in-season tournament. No one's suiting up for this crap. No, we don't even know what Okoro's injury is. He's not going to, come and be, if he has knee soreness, he's not even playing tomorrow. You have all these guys out. It seems like, they don't even go through practice, some of them. Okoro, when's the last time Okoro's practiced, I think is a question of the hour. But Logan, hold on. Before we kind of move along here through this episode, I have opinions on most things, most players, especially Cleveland sports, obviously. I need to hear your thoughts because there's a player on this team that I have no opinion on, and I think it's the first time ever it's happened to me. But, tell me about Dean Wade. Last night, I think you see it. 10 rebounds. I have an opinion on this stat line, but you've seen on this road trip with these spot starts, is the dude a nothing burger, or is he is he a plus person to contributing to winning? I can't tell.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, I really truly believe he's a top 3 defender on this team. And we had this conversation. It's actually a perfect time for us to bring this into the podcast, and everybody else can weigh in on their thoughts. But I had mentioned in our group chat that, I think I had said, well, Dean Wade's a really good defender, so he's worth being out there. And Justin's like, well, Logan, let's talk Isaac Okoro. I mean,
sure.
If we're going to hold the same standard of Okoro plays good defense, but you don't want him to play because he can't provide you offense. How is that not the same thing? I think Dean Wade does a better job of staying out of the way, spreading the floor, moving that basketball. Like you said, disciplined players who are trying to move the ball and be ready to give up the basketball. That's the kind of players you do want on the floor when you have guys like Donovan Mitchell, guys like Darius Garland, who are going to do most of the damage for you. I think Dean Wade is more valuable, though, in the regard that, one, the height. The height is huge.
Sure.
Obviously, 10 rebounds, that's great, but he doesn't show that all the time, right? So those are the things that are concerning. If Dean Wade knocks down 2 triples and plays elite defense, really good defense,
plus defense,
I think he's worth 15 to 20 minutes a night. So that's where I stand on it. Obviously, Isaac Okoro, my opinion, has changed a lot this season on him. He's played far better, but he hasn't been healthy now. So I can't really bring him into this conversation to compare the two, but I am curious what maybe the audience would think about that. Does Dean Wade have that similar problem to Isaac Okoro where you can't play him because he can't really provide you enough offense, or is it a different situation with the way he plays?
I think my only thing with that argument now is just that Dean has gone the opposite way and Isaac has gone the positive way. Where
right.
Isaac, if you go back 2 years ago, Dean Wade was the hot guy. That's why he got the contract and everything, and he was killing it. And he still got the good defense, granted. But now his offense is it's shaky. He can give you good performances, or he can give you stinkers. I think that's fair. I think you make a great point that his height is invaluable at this point in the season with the lack of size that we already have. But I think Okoro, for what he's turned into
He's
now.
more athletic for sure. Okoro is.
Yeah, I think he provides more to what they're looking for now with this team in terms of how the offense was supposed to work. They wanted to run. He's probably the fastest player on this team, if I had to imagine, if it's not Donovan, maybe. But he is the hustle guy. He's the guy who gets after it. And everyone's like, he's the guy. If he hits a three, people go nuts because they're like, oh my God, it's Isaac Okoro hitting a three now. But it's more often than not, if he's the one to go and hit a slam or something, that's what gets people going. And he's kind of that guy where back in the day, you were just like, man, I don't want this guy touching the ball. Or, man, I really don't want to see him in the corner where no one's guarding him, Now people are respecting him. Now he's way more I don't know. I don't want to call him a facilitator, but he's way better about passing and dribbling the ball instead of just being like, catch. You know what? I'm trapped now.
He's actually trying to be a playmaker this year. I get what you're saying, but I think like even just to pull this back up though, like follow along with me here. And I don't know how to say it without sounding like a hater or like a casual, because intuitively it doesn't make any sense. Like for me to come on here and tell you guys, who I respect both of your opinions and, sports knowledge, and the listeners, the viewers, the audience, that like I can't even say it doesn't make sense. Like, is there not too much talent? I don't even know how to say it, but like take our injuries right now. Last night, no Donovan, no LeVert, no Okoro. Then go to the box score. Okay. Everybody has a defined role in the starting lineup. Follow along with me here. Garland's the point guard, facilitate, could also score. Strus, stand there and shoot, be an athlete, cut. That's at the most. Rebound the basketball, good. Dean Wade, stand there on offense. That's all he does. He just stands there. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I know that we've been complaining about having guys like that on the floor, but it's like when you have two of those guys, it's an issue. One guy, you could get away with it. Mobley, Allen, get rebounds, play well down low, have post moves. Don't do too much outside of that.
Be a presence in those.
Carry us on defense, basically. But it's not like Strus has been a terrible defender. We know Wade is a good defender, like Logan has brought up. Now check the reserves. Okay,
LeVert you can have 6-man, lock it in. But then after that, it's shaky.
But in some lineups, Justin, no, I'm talking about the reserves or Logan in this game. In some lineups, some lineups though, I feel like LeVert is like he's just out there. Like I don't know what he's doing.
Just pounding the rock.
Is he facilitating? Is he running the offense? Is he shooting? He's just out there sometimes. That's the only way I can explain it. Check out these set of backups. Okay, Craig Porter Jr., you're Darius Garland light. That's my adjective. Like, we got Coke and we got Coke 0. You are Darius Garland 0, but you're playing pretty good. So we're in for that. Perfect. One-on-one replacement. Now this is where it gets a little tricky because, this is a huge drop off in my opinion. Niang, you're chalk it up. Whichever one you want to pick. You're either Max Strus light or you're Dean Wade light. I think you might be closer to Dean Wade light, but I feel like you're probably a little bit better shooter than Dean Wade at this current point in time. Tristan only plays 5 minutes, but okay, yeah, sure. You're Jared Allen light. That's how it goes. Damian Jones, non-factor, whatever. But even Merrill last night, like Merrill is Strus light and Niang is Dean Wade light. Like you have one-on-one replacements that actually make sense. Where Justin, take it like this. When you look at we've looked at the Browns roster for the last 2 years, and don't let me get off topic, but you have Deshaun Watson. Okay, who are the guys who are behind Deshaun Watson? Guys with similar play styles. So when Deshaun Watson gets hurt, unfortunately, you don't have to redo the playbook. Like when you sub 2 to 3 people in, it's like JB shouldn't have to like look around for a clipboard and be like, oh, we have to go into offense C and we just started with offense A for 8 minutes. And if LeVert's out there, we're going to go to offense B. It's too much confusion. And I'm not saying that they can't make it work with all those guys, but like you're asking JB to make it work. You're asking the players to come together and be like, okay, we're committed to this rule set with this players out there. Like you need formulas for this. Like I can't, like you said, Justin, I can't have LeVert out there with no identity. I can't have Mitchell out there and Garland's just standing there because, Mitchell scored 8 in a row. Like, that's cool and all until push comes to shove, until the whistles tighten up, until defenses get better, until it's a one-on-one scouting report and you have to play somebody 4, 5, 6 games in a row in the playoffs, and everything that you've done, incorrectly gets amplified in the postseason. So that's where I'm at right now.
We really just need to have a couple games here, and I feel like we'll talk about the prediction soon, but we just need to have a couple games here where I feel like we confidently beat teams.
Okay.
I just really haven't, and the Denver game is, you can say we beat them confidently, but again, a game where no one, I just still can't believe Jeff predicted it, but I just don't think you go into that game thinking, knowing the players that are out, you're thinking, hey, we're going to come in and win this, by 20 or by 10 plus points. But, a game against the Sixers, if Karras comes back and Darius plays and they win, that's a huge game. That's an in-tournament game.
Sure.
Don't really care about that part as much as that's a good basketball team that you beat, a little shorthanded and whatnot, but it'll be interesting. Hopefully Niang gives us some insider info, but I'm just looking for a big confidence boost with the team in general, because I'm still not there yet with this 3-game win streak.
Well, Justin, unless Logan, has a point to add, we're going to kick it off with you being in the lead. Highlighted there in the yellow, 6 and 7. I know you're absolutely sick to your stomach that I was the only person to pick Cavs. Yeah. Logan's absolutely sick to his stomach because he knew the Kings were going to win this game. And the more he talks about it, the more I kind of knew too, but I was just being, blind. These 2 middle games were easy. Why did I asterisk this because it's a in-season tournament. I was like, was there a personalized guarantee? But I remembered my own format again. So, Justin, in Philadelphia, you're coming off a big win, though. You don't discredit the momentum, 3 in a row. I think that Philly's on what? More than that,
2-game win streak.
Okay, 2, but they've been playing good basketball, top echelon of the Eastern Conference, if I'm aware, if that makes sense. But what are we thinking? What is their record? Does anyone know?
They are
10 and 3. It's 2 seed. Not good. The Magic are 8 and 5. Okay.
So I don't think anyone is out for them right now. And God, the thing about the Sixers is I never get upset about the big, or in any scenario, and this is obviously Logan's big thing with Cavalier killers, I never get upset with the main guy killing us. It's always the secondary guy, like a Max Lee, who is just on fire right now, and just can't bet against how good they are. I'm going to go 76ers win. They kick us out of the tournament. I hope I'm wrong. Someone pick the Cavs and win.
Not me.
Not Jeff. Yeah.
They play us good. They're playing better basketball than us. They've just
got your guy, coach.
They've just played more basketball together. It
will not be me either. To me, I think the Cavaliers are actually going to do just fine. Here's the fact.
I agree.
We're going to shoot a lot less free throws than they will. Tyrese Maxey will flop it up. Joel Embiid will flop it up. They're both talented enough to get 30 points if they wanted to, but they'll get 15 at the line. So that's the way I feel. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, that's no discredit to them. They're very talented players, but they will get the calls. They're in Philly. They will get more free throws, and I think this game comes down to a few points. I think that's where the differential comes from.
Free throws, yeah.
So, but you're not telling me we're seeing a Darius Garland flop masterclass like we've seen a couple
of
times
this year? I'm confident the Cavaliers are actually going to play well against the Sixers. I just don't think they come out on top.
I really don't think we will.
I actually totally agree with that. And it's not going to be great for the timeline, but on the road, can you really ask for much more with injuries? No Mitchell. I think if these games aren't back to back, you probably see Mitchell play one of these games.
It would be crazy though if we did get the win without Mitchell, and it's like a Darius Garland with Jared Allen, Evan Mobley masterclass. But I don't see that coming.
But
50,
if it did, 55 from DG.
Yeah, no. Anyways,
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. I know we're at home, but you're on the back-to-back, 21st, 22nd, but I'm going to turn it around here shortly.
You know why I love doing these predictions is because we can go like last week where we have 4 games to predict, or the week before that where we only have 2, and get these kind of like uneven weeks.
Yes.
And really get into these parts where I'm like, I can take a chance here and go Cavs and do the rest of my 2 predictions knowing what I know already. So I'm going to go Cavs, and I'm going to get one up on Jeff.
What do you know?
Oh, I know the future, Jeff.
You subscribe to Fedor, Jeffrey.
Oh my God.
I am subscribed to Fedor.
That's a genius play. He does know
Insider information.
That is true.
Give me the Cavs back home. I think the home cooking's going right now. They got Bam, they got Jimmy, they got Tyler Hero. I don't know if Donovan will play, but I just like the way I feel good. Max Strus return game versus the Heat.
Revenge game.
Revenge game is valid. I just think that Miami, coaching wise, personnel wise, is that if you look at these games, here's the last team I think that we played that you would describe as clearly more physical than us, and it was a loss. I don't claim the Blazers or Pistons to be physical. The Nuggets, yeah, they have Jokic, but I don't know, physical team. I don't think the 76ers are even that physical either, but the Heat, Bam, Jimmy, not liking it. But I will continue off here. Whoa, can't type. We're going to go Vavs, more like Wavs, because 2 more W's, even though this is a back-to-back. I hate doing that, but you get 2 in a row at home. You kind of have the Lakers off your back. You've beat them with Donovan Mitchell, and then the Raptors, I just think we're a little bit better than them.
Jeff, just go down the line for me, brother. Cavs.
Yeah, might as well do it. Cavs.
So we have one game that ground can be decided. Justin is going to keep the same games up against Logan.
I'm just trying to get back to 500. I don't care.
Either I will continue to lead or Jeff and I will be tied next week.
Which he was nervous about. But gents, after this week, already 17 games in. It's not like it's a huge amount, but you're creeping up to that 20 game mark where the Stephen A's and the JJ Reddick and they'll be like, okay, this Cavs team 20 games 16. In and their record is this and they're this in the Eastern Conference. Still doesn't matter. Sure, we're gonna have narratives, we're gonna have discussions about it, but I think the whole mantra of the episode, which is frustrating and annoying because it's like, when's the progress going to be made? When's the rotations going to be dialed in? But Justin has said it. You don't have a healthy team. You haven't all year. You could go 50 games without having a healthy rotation. Would be bad. Probably not, good in our favor. But until you figure out, okay, how does LeVert work with this team? Okay, Donovan, we're going to do this when he's on the court with Darius. We're going to do this when he's not on the court, this and that. Is Jerome going to be a factor when he comes back? I say highly unlikely. I think that's kind of the standard, thought process right now. We know Damian Jones is pretty much out of the lineup unless Damian Jones is playing. We have bigger issues on our hands. They tried Merrill last night. I get you have a bigger lead, and maybe you're just trying to grow the lead with some 3-point threats. But yeah, we got a long ways to go, boys. It's only episode 5. We'll be back here every Monday. And yeah, final thoughts. So let's round us out.
Good thing that we're back to being above 500 because this could be a bad stretch where Jeff could be right. We lose to the Sixers, we lose to the Heat. But, I'm glad that there's a little bit of a resurgence going on with some of our players, DG mainly. But CBJ, hopefully he can continue to come along. And
pleasant bright spot.
Yeah, maybe if other spot guys start to miss out, maybe we get to see Imani take a step and take a chance. But outside of that, yeah, just like the mojo that's going on as of right now.
Fair enough,
I think
Logan.
we sounded a little bit negative for winning 3 games in a row, but I think the fact of the matter is that we want us to get healthy more than anything because we can't really judge off what we've seen. Was the Nuggets game a fluke? I think we just put together a really good performance, but you don't know. I will say injuries suck, but they have really – I think it's going to be good for this team long term because I don't think Mitchell missed a whole lot of games last year. Right. And I kind of started getting a feeling early on in this game or early on in the season, I should say, is that guys are kind of going out there and just kind of going through the motions. I think without Mitchell, everyone is allowed to get their feet a little bit more wet, activate themselves, understand where they're at, acclimate it. Mitchell is good enough of a player that he can adjust off what everybody else is doing. You got to win without Donovan Mitchell. You have to do it. We were bitching about it earlier this season, and they've turned out a couple of great performances recently in the absence of Donovan. So I can't be upset about that. I got to be happy with that, and I'm hoping that when this all comes together, it'll start fitting more like a puzzle like it should.
Fair enough. Well, Cavalier Faithful, thanks for tuning in. Cavs Encapsulated, episode 5 on this still early season. I'm going to be saying that until probably the All-Star break because that's just how I feel about it. I got a lot of time to figure stuff out. hit the like button, subscribe, turn that bell notification on. Don't miss an upload. Plenty of stuff coming out. We do live streams. We do player individual videos. We do Cavs Encapsulated every Monday. This one's going up Tuesday, but early in the week, you'll catch us talking Cavs. Just 3 Cleveland fans, here to hang out and talk with you guys, see how you guys feel. And yeah, with that all being said, as always, we appreciate you being the pulse of it all.